Well, if there's anything you don't want to be, it's to be too hot. It's a hot one here today. We're going to talk to an expert. He's got 40 years of experience making sure you can stay calm, cool, and affordable. Stay tuned, everybody. It's the Your Little Castle Show. Welcome, everyone. It's the Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethwish, a.k.a. the Cardinal Cowboy. I'm fortunate to... some of my technology stuff works out, but we produce a show here that is pretty well automated. I'm a computer nerd. People know the background a little bit. Parents said, you're going to go to computer classes just in case the baseball career doesn't work out. Statistical odds, we've got a friend that made it. My buddy Cliff Polite grew up in the neighborhood. I was talking to our friend Dave Wilkoff. He's an attorney. And Dave and I chat every once in a while. He says, you know the odds of becoming a professional baseball player? It's like being the CEO of a top 500 company. Because there's only 500 professional athletes in the baseball realm. And there's only 500 CEOs that are top 500. That's the odds. So, hey, Mom and Dad had a good plan there, I think. So, with that, Dad always had a camera and taking pictures of everything. We didn't like that all the time. No more pictures. We wanted to play. But it turned into what we do here. So now I get to highlight business experts. Now, given your background, it's pretty impressive. You actually you're out of Florida most of the time, right?
Correct.
And you've got a location in Alabama. Where are you? St. Louis.
Alabama, St. Louis, DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, Myrtle Beach.
Nice locations to be there, too.
Great places.
Yes. And so, but we caught you while you were in St. Louis here and said,
Correct.
Hey, it's exceptionally hot right now. You said there's a lot of need right now. So you said, come up to St. Louis to help us.
Extremely busy.
Well, what is it that led you to this profession, this field? I mean, obviously you started very young.
I got out. I quit high school, went to work for an electrician. He also did heating and cooling, and that's where I started out at. I started there and worked my way through it.
How long was it before that you said, all right, man, I can run one of these companies?
It took me about 10 years.
Okay.
I opened up one, and I failed miserably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I failed miserably and went back to work for somebody else, tried to gain a little bit more experience. I think the biggest part of it was easy to do the work. I just didn't have any type of business acumen at all. And that's what hurt me.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, sometimes the hardest lessons we learn are some of the best lessons that have taught us, right?
Absolutely.
Would you say that's kind of where that fell for you? So nobody wants to fail at business, but I've been there a couple times in my life where we were starting something that didn't work out.
Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
you look back at what you did wrong and you go,
learn from it.
Learn. You got to learn. The best lessons are learned from the failures you have. That's a better way of saying what I was trying to do. Write that down if you can. But that's what I was trying to say. But that's interesting because a lot of people after their first time
give up.
They give up. They're not coming back. But you said no. And how long?
Then I went to when I was about in my early 30s, I started another one, and I kept that one for 24 years, and I sold it in 2021.
Okay. And you said, hey, I built enough of a company here, sell this thing off,
Yep.
ride off into the sunset. But then you said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
I retired. I sat around for 2 years. I got fat, out of shape, and had to get back to work. And that's where I'm at. And so I started another one.
And we're going to show. This is a great story. I love your. This is how often is the case? People do end up. I mean, given the struggles you had early on, but those led you to your success. And then you got successful enough. He said, but I can't just sit around. My mom still teaches drama at Afton. She taught John Gooden. But she said, what else would I be doing, right?
Right.
And so you want to
sit around doing nothing.
Be productive, and if you're good at something, that you can help people. And we all want a fair, good price. I've shopped for some AC units, ladies and gentlemen. In our studio, we've got what they call that a
mini split.
Mini split, that's right. And that thing has made a difference. Here, we used to have 4 portable air conditioners. They were loud. We had to turn them off and all the time. But until you get some experts, the guy says, apply online, see what your credit is. And by then, I'd been around for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And filed taxes, and they said, how much do you want? And I was like, well, interesting. But start those businesses, everybody. That's a great way to make a living. If you get it nailed down, it may take you a couple tries, but don't give up. That is really cool. What do you think that led to your success? I guess the third time. We're going to show off your reviews here.
The second time, the second business I built, I struggled. I mean, I struggled the first 12 years. It was just like the first time. I mean,
really?
I just struggled just getting, you sit down with somebody that's a business coach and they say, hey, listen, this is what you need to be charging. And I'm looking at that number, I'm thinking, man, that is just way too much, so I wouldn't charge that. And so I struggled and struggled and struggled, and then finally I said, okay, we're going to charge what he says to charge, and that was the turning point.
Okay, good lesson there too, because if you don't charge enough to pay the bills,
absolutely,
and sometimes you can't serve everybody, you've got to go to where you can have a functioning business.
Absolutely. And, you know, even in that time of view, I mean, you had a lot of people ask you questions about your business. Well, what's your profit and loss? What's your balance statement? You know, what are your KPIs are you following from? I don't know any of that. I can fix an air conditioner, but I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, KPIs.
So it took me years to, you know, follow up on that and to learn it and to really live by it because it makes a big difference.
Nice. KPIs, key
Performance
indicators. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, KPI. But yeah, these days, man, technology and the software that will say, hey, man, here's your numbers. This is unsustainable, and you just had to learn. Hey, we gotta charge what we have to charge to make this. And it's fair. It just was it that you weren't doing the far less expensive projects. You were taking on more of the.
Well, I mean, I had a hard time charging somebody that amount of money for an air conditioning system. I just didn't look at it as being a fair amount for them. But what I didn't realize at the time is that it was burying me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was, you know, slashing my own finances to save somebody else's.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I've been there. I remember when I first built the first computer ever I built. I'm like, I don't know why I would charge this up $1,000 or whatever.
Exactly.
And I did it for like $100, and then I had a problem.
Yeah.
And then I had to replace the thing, and then tear it apart.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
over with.
I'm gonna lose money doing this. I can't stay in
Yes.
business like that. Good lesson, and a lot of people need to understand that's important to realize. But with 40 years of experience, this most recent AirBear Heating and Cooling. How'd you come up with that name?
I got like a team of people that kind of work with me, and they worked with me at my last business. And my marketing lady, she came up with that.
I like that. AirBear kind of rhymes, and it's kind of plays off
air conditioning, air,
care about
cold,
your air.
exactly.
Right, and how often is it the case? I mean, if you don't have a comfortable house,
This time of year is rough.
There's nobody. And like I said, we were talking on the show or not, but yeah, it was so hot today. I looked down, I'm like, how's it 77 degrees in here? Now we got all the cameras and lights on. That's one thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, crank that AC up, and then the bill goes up, and then you look at what you're spending, and you want to have an efficient system, and then you can get into where you consult people to say, I imagine this is true. Hey, if you buy a new system versus your 15-year-old system,
makes a huge difference.
You'll save a lot of money. You'll pay for that thing to have that replaced.
Makes a huge difference.
Those are important things to consider. Tell us a little bit about your team. You guys have been.
We got some amazing people. We got a lot of people that have been in the industry for a long time. We got 5 locations. We're in Florida, Myrtle Beach, Dallas, Alabama, and St. Louis. And each location just has a dynamic manager. They do a fantastic job. They, a lot of them have a lot more business acumen than I do, so I learn a lot from them too. So it really meshes together.
Yeah, I guess one of the most difficult things, this is something I've gone through, is getting that good team, because it's impossible to run a business like this on your own. But if you don't have the right people, it'll fail. If you do get the good people, it'll really grow.
If you get wrong people, it hurts you just as bad as anything else.
Wow, yeah, something to consider. And what would you say is one of the key roles for your industry, for your space, to run a business?
The person that answers the phone is probably one of the most important people we have.
Really?
Because if somebody's calling up, they got an air conditioning problem, and first off, it's just like a car breakdown. First off, you're dealing with the air conditioning. I got no air in my house. Now the second thing is, how much is this going to cost me to get it fixed? So the person on the phone is trying to be understanding, trying to walk the person through it, trying to get them scheduled for a period that's best for them. You know, they're working, they got kids, they got other stuff going on, so they're just trying to fill in, try to get them started on getting that repair made and getting someone to their house.
Yeah, it makes sense. And these days, tell me a little about how you train guys. I've heard stories. I don't know if this is in your space as much as well, but they can have essentially a live feed. They bring their tablet in with them, and they can analyze the machine and talk to remote support, and somebody from another region can walk them through it.
And that's very, very, very feasible, and you can do that. And we have done it with FaceTime a lot of times.
Okay.
A senior techs help out a junior tech, or somebody has seen something they've never seen before, so we all kind of pitch in and try to help.
Yeah, well, and that's where we get into. We got a question later. We'll talk about how has technology affected the business. We'll save that for later. But my point was the team, that you've got guys now that have experience. So the new guys, they get support from the other guys who've been around.
Absolutely.
And so that really helps build that team.
Yes.
If anybody isn't willing to contribute, then they might not be a good fit.
You know, 99% of the time we're looking for people that are they got good personalities, they're presentable, they carry themselves well, they talk well, they're polite. And I mean, we kind of look at that and say, well, if you can do all that and you got a little bit of air conditioning experience, we can take you to the next level because you're coming with some good qualities.
Yeah, a well-rounded human being that can communicate.
Exactly.
There you go. That's good. Important. And is it easier sometimes to work with somebody who hasn't been trained in a way that you would not agree with, and to train somebody from scratch?
100%.
rather than.
And that's the bad thing about it sometimes too. You get people come in, they're set in their ways, and they don't want to change.
Yes, sometimes it's tougher to unteach somebody something
Than to
in
teach
a
somebody.
space where they've got to develop those bad habits.
Exactly.
Habits are hard to change.
Yes.
Just talk to the people who have been in habits they know that are affecting their lives, whether that was smoking or you can go down a list of things that humans have. But
Yep.
Being a good person is something that being good with humans and being able to communicate well is
It's
important
huge.
too.
Huge.
The technicians, how long does it take a technician these days to generally get trained up? To be
You
effective?
know, if you got like somebody that's pretty knowledgeable and got a little bit of mechanical ability, you can get somebody in really, really good condition in a year.
Okay.
You know, and they'd be a good technician. You know, they might need some follow up, might need some help as they're going through it, but they can. That's a good year under a senior technician. They're in good shape.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because nothing can be learned. And there's a lot of these. We say, "Oh, our expert technician has been trained for 8 weeks, right?"
Yeah, yeah.
But it takes more than
Yeah.
8 weeks. If
You
you're
know, there's a lot of schools out there that say, "Oh yeah, we'll give you an air conditioning technician in 3 weeks," and literally that's just, you do not want a 3-week-old technician coming into your home looking at your expensive air conditioning system. You just don't want that.
Yeah, how often is the case? They're like, I don't know, just let's buy a new unit, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what the space has come to. I mean, it's all sales now. Sales, sales, sales.
Yeah, sell, and not necessarily, because I've had a buddy of mine who fortunately, he said, back in the day, he said, this is just your air capacitor. It looks like a little tin can
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
And it was like $30.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had another on the other end.
Yeah.
The A coil went out now.
Yep.
And then, but depending on what the problem is, somebody says, oh yeah, it's better to just replace.
At times it is. I mean, and that's a very, very good point. At times it definitely is, but there's other times it's not. So I mean, you need a, if you're getting hit with a $15,000 quote to put a new system in, it's time to get some second opinions. I mean, if I go to a doctor and he says I need heart surgery tomorrow, I'm gonna go talk to another one just to make sure. So I mean, before you replace something huge in your home,
Good point.
get somebody else that can look at it and verify that.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very important. But yeah, we need a new unit versus if you're on life support, then there's something to be considered there. You better get
Oh
some-
yeah, absolutely.
But make sure that you get that repair taken seriously. And back to what we were talking about, it's many times more efficient to have a newer unit than it is
Extremely.
because
I mean,
you're paying an extra $200
yeah,
a month just in
Most definitely.
electricity.
Most
produce.
definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay, good stuff. What about your business fuels your passion that you really enjoy? This obviously for a third time you want.
I love working with my hands. I've always been trying to be mechanically inclined. I'm a horrible, horrible office person, so I'm a lot better off in the field. So that's where I try to direct most of my time, is being in the field. Servicing air conditioners, maintaining them, installing. That's where I like to be.
There's a place to be. Yeah, if you can be hands-on and you can be somebody who actually understands all that stuff. That's
Exactly.
I'll never forget. I had an attorney call me for a guy that wanted a potential lawsuit, and he says, "How do you know how long it takes to do these things?" I go, "Because I've done it myself."
Yeah.
And he went back and said, "Hey, you were ripping him off trying to overcharge for the work to do these things." But yeah, then you can speak more credibly towards what it
Exactly.
is, knowledgeably to what it is that's going on there. That's important. Very cool. With that, let's go look at some of those reviews. I put up on the wall your website, and on wall number 1, or we don't call it wall number 2 technically. There it is, AirBear Heating and Cooling. Now, I would assume 241 reviews. You've been around 4, 5, 10, 20 years. I would be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
but
we've
you
been
guys
in
had
that area right there. That's the Florida location. We've been there for about 3 years.
Okay, yeah, but to get 241 reviews is
Yeah.
pretty aggressive. You guys got a lot of people that want to share with you what they're doing, so that's exciting to see somebody who's got so many reviews. That's the point
Sure,
I was making
sure.
there. Because it's hard to get reviews, and
Very.
and if you're getting people who are,
Very.
if you got 241, a 4.9, if you had a 5.0 on 241, I would think there's something wrong.
So the bad one is a disgruntled employee.
Is it a play? There you go. That's
Disgruntled
always
employee.
kind of what happens.
Yeah.
We had a different thing. We had a prospect to be on the show, thought it should be on for free. I'm like, well, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
At the time, we didn't have all the sponsorships and everything. But anyway, I go, well, we didn't even interview you. He goes, I don't care. I just wanted to write a review. I'm like, we talked to you on the phone. We had a conversation on the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're 4.9. So 1 out of 241 was not, but the other, everything else is 5s. I'm going to put that back up on the wall there. But prompt, professional, courteous, and honest. They didn't come out and try to oversell me as 2 previous companies. Thanks to Gary Dukes for the recommendation. And we could go on and on, but that's what we're talking about. How often is it the case they come out and say, we need a new unit?
It's
Somebody
constant. Everybody's got to consider that technician that's coming to your home. If he sells you an air conditioner, he's getting a cut of that.
Really, they're getting a commission sales.
Oh yeah, 8 to 10%.
Really? Okay, that's a pretty good.
So when we got somebody pushing you to buy a new air conditioner, that's when you can say, okay, well, that's one of the reasons right there.
So if it's a $24,000 unit,
that's $2,400 in his pocket.
He's making a good little check. That's a
Absolutely.
good week's worth of pay right there to do that. Wow, good stuff, good information. Some of the trade secrets behind the scenes going on there, everybody. Stay tuned. We'll be back here in just a minute. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwish was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goal, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. So we're hearing all the time now why people need to be on our show, and it's pretty obvious. These days, the stats are proven. If you're going to get people's attention, you've got to get them with video. Google loves video. YouTube, obviously, is where you put your videos, and it's just a no-brainer. The problem is, until we kind of put together this whole format, there's no other way to get this kind of quality for the cost we put together. Because I'm a computer nerd, because I figured out how to automate, systematize, we've systematized this. Mom and Dad made me go to computer classes just in case the professional baseball career didn't work out. And so we started off doing 1 show, then 2 shows, then 3 shows, and then we had to jump to 5 shows a week just to fill the demand, because here you get a professional video that looks dynamite, that'll let your business really showcase what they do, and you don't have to spend $10, $15, $20, $30,000 to do it. So if you'd like to be on the show, get a hold of us. and understand these stats. When you're on a show like this, when you put this on your website, you're going to decrease your bounce rate by 34%. You're going to increase your close rate, your conversion rate by up to 80%. We have clients tell us they get 25% more closed deals because of the show. They track this. They can speak to that. And you're going to just get an overall boom for your business. You've got to do video. If you don't do it through us, do it somewhere. Do it yourself. But do it professionally. Don't make your business look worse. Make your business look better. This video can be used for up to 7 years. We have clients, we did an interview with them 2020. It's 2026. They have made over $360,000 by using our video. They came back to do it again. So get a hold of us. Jump on here. Go to bigleagues.com. That's BIGG leagues.com. Or call us or text us right there, the phone number you see there. And we look forward to having you on our show. Stay tuned. Giddy up.
All right, so there you have it, everybody. That is the fun we get to partake in the community. Paul Brown, my buddy, says, you always got to play that clip that shows why you do this so people understand what the message is here. And it's to help everybody believe that there's nothing you can't accomplish if you're willing to do the work to get there. And keep plugging, you'll eventually get there. A good example here with somebody
Absolutely.
Started a company, a couple hard knocks, and
Failed miserably.
Failed miserably. Came back and retired relatively young, actually, when you think
Yeah,
about
I turned early 50s. I retired, but then it was just, and that's what I thought about for like the 10 years before that. God, I can't wait to retire. God, I can't wait to retire.
Right.
And I retired, and I sat at home alone all day long. Nothing going on.
Get to go out there and do some stuff.
Yeah.
Got to feel like you're contributing. That's
Exactly.
what we're talking about.
Exactly.
All the money in the world doesn't make you happy. You got to contribute. Give me a little cost analysis. I imagine in your space, there's a lot of places, and I've had this happen. And sometimes you get guys
Sure.
who are experts,
Right.
And they're retired or they're part-time, or they
Sure.
work for the big company, and they'll come
Right.
with a side job for you. But how often is it the brother-in-law's going to fix this, and he can put some duct tape on there, or he knows how to install an A-coil? These are things you got to be a little wary of. What do people put at risk
I
when they
think
do that?
the brother-in-law repair was a great repair 15, 20 years ago.
Okay.
The systems were pretty basic. I mean, you probably only had 5 or 6 major components on an air conditioning system back then. So a brother-in-law, that was a pretty good, I mean, it could be feasibly be done. The systems today are just, the technology is so extreme. I mean, you open some of these up and you got 3 or 4 control boards, electronic control boards, and an air conditioner.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, they're using digital voltage. I mean, they're using signals. I mean, they're doing everything. It's very, very high tech.
You better have
And
some
air
expert
conditioning.
training. If you
Absolutely. The technician from 20 years ago could do nothing for an air conditioning today. They're so advanced.
This is not one of those you can learn it on YouTube.
No, not at all.
Maybe some real,
Not at all.
changing the filter. Well,
That you could do. Changing the temperature on the thermostat, that's a pretty good, easy one. Yeah. But other than trying to make a repair, and right now in the space and just throughout the whole entire country, and this could be information from everybody, Home Depot now sells air conditioning parts. And they're just very basic parts for your air conditioner, but they have parts for the DIY person.
Okay.
And they're very priced, very reasonably, very affordable. If you have a capacitor go out on your outside unit, you could buy one from Home Depot, you could YouTube it, and you could easily replace it yourself.
Yeah, and that's kind of a more basic repair then, right?
Exactly. But now 99% of
boards.
circuit boards, some of you won't mess. 99% of the air conditioners being sold today do not have a capacitor.
Okay, so if they tell you it's the flux capacitor is broken.
Yeah, be nervous if they say the flux capacitor.
That's right. They're going back to the future, and that's not what you're looking for. Why should somebody choose you though? What do you think it is?
We try to be very, very affordable. I mean, our pricing is spectacular. Our service is fantastic. We have great communication. We tell you we're going to be there. We're on time. We're going to be there on time. We tell you when we're coming. We're going to be there. We call you when we're coming. Again, we just have great technicians. We send technicians. We don't send salespeople.
That's an important one there, everybody.
Yes.
How often is it the sales guy comes? Are there some companies that do that? They send a sales guy out first,
Listen,
and then they go, "Wait a minute, we couldn't sell
Absolutely.
them. We got to send a tech
Yeah.
now." That's crazy.
Yeah, you get a guy out there, and he's trying to tell you, hey, you need a new air conditioner. You need this. You need that. And he's got this whole bill of stuff that you need. Go look in his van, and it's going to be completely, entirely empty. Because that's all he does is sell air conditioners.
So he's a sales guy. Well, there you have it, everybody. That'd be another key one here. Chad is sharing with us. Make sure if they come at you first before they've even really done an investigation.
Exactly.
Oh, new unit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
premium price. So then that's
Be skeptical.
Be skeptical. That's not the way to do business. And businesses will try that. They may not stick around too long, but certifications, licensing, those kinds of things. But you guys got to be trained in Freon. You were talking about.
Yeah,
And all
you got
kinds
to
of
be
other training you
EPA
guys-
certified to handle Freon.
Okay.
And they have like 4 different classes of it, you know, from like small, very small, like small air conditioners to big, huge commercial units. So you have to take classes, you have to take a test, got to get an EPA certification to be able to buy Freon, to be able to use Freon, to be able to reclaim Freon. You got to be certified.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as it gets into it, the certifications are part of that training you've got to have. And if you don't have
Absolutely.
that, then you're dealing with stuff. If somebody puts the wrong Freon in, then they can ruin the
Detrimental
system.
to the system. Absolutely.
Okay. And then if the Freon is expired, then that's where you start talking about can't put together a unit that doesn't have the right Freon to support it. anymore.
Correct.
And you're going against EPA, you get in trouble.
And that's the bad thing about the EPA lately. They've, the past 14 years, they've changed the Freon twice now, and they're talking about changing it again. And that just puts everybody that has that older system, like years ago it was R22. And there's still a ton of R22 units in the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
Not so much down south, but up north there's a ton of them.
Really? Okay.
So I mean, when those go bad, when you have a leaking coil or a bad compressor, it's hard to find the parts for those. Not impossible, but it's hard. And it might not be financially feasible to put that much money into a 20-year-old unit.
Yeah, and that's where you get back into it. If you're spending $350 a month to run that air conditioner,
Oh, absolutely.
and you could cut that
Yeah,
down
and
half.
efficiency is a huge thing too, like
Efficiency,
you
right.
talked about earlier. You take out a 25-year-old unit and you put in a new system from the day that's efficient, you're going to probably cut your utility bill by 50% for your heating and cooling cost.
Wow, there's a big drop. How much was that you said?
50%.
50% reduction you could have in your heating and cooling costs, everybody. That's what we're talking about. So that's why I was jumping at. If you cut it from $350 down to $175,
It's a huge difference.
$175 every month.
Right.
That's what a payment might be for a unit.
Yeah, and
like
that's not even going to the ultimate SEER, the highest SEER unit out there. It's just even a basic standard 14, 16 SEER will give you that kind of a cost savings.
Good stuff, information that a lot of people don't realize. What are some of the benefits working with you guys? Small business, 5 locations, but every location, about 10 people at each or less.
Yep.
And hands-on, you really get to take care of people.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to be an old school air conditioning company that answers our phones and comes to your home and fixes your air conditioner. And the next time it breaks down, you call us back and we come out and do the same thing over and over again. We use great customer service, great communication, and we're priced right.
That's how you run a successful business here. That's what we're getting experts to share a little bit of their trade secrets right here on the show, everybody. We got about 45 seconds left. How does somebody sign up? They said, all right, I want to get AirBear to come in and fix my air conditioning unit.
You can get online. We're on Facebook. You call the airbear.com, Facebook, AirBear. And
there it is.
then,
You can say, get your...
Yep, and then you just give us a call. We got forms you can fill out. You can text us, call us, whatever's your favorite way to communicate. We're there.
Yep. All the information is readily available. Somebody that's really on the ball. Marketing these days, you've got to have a website that's easy to use. I noticed it looks like you're using the same system that we use, that we recommend for people. I won't say it on camera because it's kind of a trade secret, but it's a powerful system. It really makes it easy to service your customers. And it's got a lot of AI stuff built into it now. But these days, you got to be able to answer, give people responses, and get them the information they need. Stay tuned, everybody. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. We'll be back. Giddy up.